Okay, good. Well, let's make a start then. Okay, so welcome everyone to the eMedica AKT Pass Guarantee Program. This is orientation for the 90-day program for the October 2025 exam. So in terms of what we're going to do today, this is a chance for you to meet the team, understand how does the program work, how do you go about completing your daily tasks, how do you submit your weekly tasks, chance for you to ask any questions that you like. So use the chat to get involved in the discussion. If you've got a question that you'd like myself or the faculty to answer, use the Q&A, not the chat. Joining me today as part of the course faculty, we have Anna Greathead, who's part of the core eMedica team. I will give a fuller introduction in a minute. But before we get into that, you will have seen, those of you that have already received your welcome box, a postcard with this message. It's attributed to Lao Tzu, a famous Chinese philosopher, that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And it can feel like AKT is 1,000-mile long preparation because it's such a large curriculum. There's so many things to do. Sometimes people just don't know where to start, how to go about covering the curriculum. And so, well done on taking this first step of joining a program where you'll be guided throughout the whole progress and where all of the learning has been structured so that you don't need to worry about what should I do now, when should I cover what topic. You just need to do the work we send you, and we'll make sure that you cover everything you need. Okay? Now, you're right at the beginning, you've taken that first step. And then what you need to do is each day, just worry about the step in front of you. You don't have to worry about when will we do this? How will I cover this? Just focus on the tasks in the email and we will make sure you cover everything. And we're here to guide you every step. But I need to warn you now that while a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, it's still 1,000 miles long. So it's still a lot of hard work. And you need to be clear about that in the mind, especially as you've joined the 90-day program, which is the more intense program. Because the 150-day program is exactly the same work, but spread over 5 months. You're going to do all of that work in the next 90 days. So every day, from when we start on the 31st, every day you're going to need to put the work in. Okay? So, but we're going to be there to guide you and structure all of your learning. So for those who haven't met me before, let me introduce myself and then I'll introduce the rest of the team. So my name is Mohibur Rahman. I'm a portfolio GP and the medical director of eMedica. Did my GP training in Neath Port Talbot in South Wales, passed my MRCGP with merit back in 2007, and I got FRCGP in 2019 for my work in medical education and humanitarian medicine. I'm one of the authors for the Prescribing Safety Assessment. I've written various books, articles, study guides for MRCGP AKT, CSA, RCA, and now SCA. I was an examiner and invigilator for the GMC for the PLAB Part 2, and I'm still on the examiner panel for Liverpool Medical School. And I sit on the NICE GP reference panel, which gives feedback on NICE guidelines that might impact general practice before the final form is published. So, chance for you to meet some of the other key team members. So the two other key team members in terms of being faculty for the talk courses, the live sessions, Masuda Rahman, who's also a director of e-learning at eMedica, she'll be faculty for various courses and webinars, and Anna Greathead, who, again, part of the core eMedica team, sits on the e-learning team, is faculty for courses and webinars, but is also the study mentor for AKT and the main admin for your WhatsApp group. So every cohort, your cohort, the 90-day program, will have a WhatsApp group. You'll get a link to join that the day before the program starts. Watch out for the link in the email that you received. So let me just hand you over to Anna, who's going to say a few words.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm excited, always excited at the beginning of a program because I feel like it's the beginning of a journey and we all go on it together. And it's amazing what can be achieved in 90 days. As Dr. Rahman said, it's very, very intensive. But when you actually look at how far you travel, it's very inspiring. And it's inspiring for me to watch it as well as for you to achieve it. I always at this point offer 3 pieces of advice to cohorts as they embark on this program. And I shall do the same for you. The first is commit to the program. This is a really intensive program, as Dr. Rahman has already said, and it's not something that you can easily put down and pick up again. If you miss a few days, it's almost impossible to catch up. So really do make sure you're committed to it. So even when you're tired, you think, I'm really tired, but I'm going to do those 20 questions. Or actually, I'd really like to sit and scroll on my phone, but I will look at those case cards. Or I'd like to go out tonight, but maybe I'll join my friends for dessert instead of going for the whole meal so that I can get my weekly tasks done. Commit to the program. It's 90 days. The rewards will be amazing, but you really do need to commit to it. The second thing is be organised. Every time I find people every cohort, there are a few people who just waste a lot of time looking for things that they know they saw at some point. They can't find their email, they can't find the right documents, they don't know what links they're supposed to be looking at. If you're organised, you can save yourself so much time and be so much more intentional in your completing of the whole programme. And it's just good, isn't it? Just even simple things like having a tidy study space and making sure that everything is stored in one place on your laptop. All of that will just make the whole thing a lot more seamless. And thirdly, and maybe most importantly, is trust the process. At the beginning of this program, it can feel quite disheartening because you are getting marks that maybe you're not accustomed to getting, sort of lower percentages than you'd like to see. But that is just because you are learning. You're learning this stuff. You don't know it already. And we don't expect you to know it already because it's a vast, vast curriculum. Trust the process. Put the work in. It really does. You really do see how much progress you make. Okay, I'm looking forward to working with you, and I'll hand you back to Dr. Rahman.
Okay, great. Other members of the team that you might get emails for, if you contact the team, they might respond to your queries, are listed here. So Selina Begum, Tuba Jamil, Jubaida Khatun, Rabia Hussein, Laura Smith, Rebecca Begum, and Daryl Celeste. Okay. So let me explain how the program works. Now you've joined the 90-day program. So from the day that we start, about 5 a.m. every morning, you're going to get an email from me. And that email will contain links to a question of the day and reading associated to that specific topic. One set of online revision questions if it's a weekday, 2 if it's a weekend. Daily reading tasks. You must complete all of the daily tasks before the next email hits. You've got 24 hours to complete all those tasks. Now, you might take a few days to get to your own rhythm. Some people wake up a little bit early so that they can get a head start. They might do the question of the day, the reading, maybe the case cards before they even go to work, so that in the evening they can focus on the online revision questions and the reading tasks. Others might at lunchtime maybe do the case cards, do the question of the day before they go. You find your own flow, but you must find the time to do the work. It's going to take you about an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of work every day for the next 90 days, all right, to get the work done. Alongside that, you have weekly tasks. These have specific deadlines, which will be written in the email. You don't need to do the weekly task the first day that it comes in the email. You've got until the deadline, but please don't leave it right up until the deadline. Make sure that you get it done in time. The weekly tasks are different each time. So some will involve watching a video of a session that we've recorded, and then there'll be some questions to make sure you've learned it. Some will be research exercises designed to help you learn a topic in depth. Some will be online revision questions from a different source. So we use RCGP self-test to expose you to a different question bank. Some might be RCGP knowledge challenges to cover in a different way important topics. Okay. Now, it's important when you've got so much to cover that you enjoy the little wins. So you've got your daily progress tracker, which is in your welcome pack. And I recommend that you put this somewhere on a notice board near your study space so you can actually keep an eye on it. Or somewhere you're going to see daily, like your fridge, all right? And when you finish all of the daily tasks in email number 1, tick it off. So at the beginning, it's all empty, right? When you get here, you see lots of ticks here. You think, you know what? I'm making progress here. When you get to the bottom of this column, you think, I'm halfway now. When you get to the bottom of this, you think, you know what? I'm nearly there. When you get here and you look back and there's 90 ticks, it's going to give you a lot of confidence. Look how much work I've done. You've also got a printed curriculum checklist in your welcome pack. For those that have just signed up recently, don't worry, this will be on its way to you eventually. But at the beginning, can you see nothing's ticked off? It's 36 pages, about 600 topics mentioned here. We'll cover all of them by the end of the program. But as you cover a topic, tick it. Because again, the evening before the exam, when you look back and you see there's like 600 ticks, every page is full of ticks. At the beginning, you've got none. Again, that's going to give you confidence. I'm ready now. I've done it all. I've done the work. Okay. Now, something really important I want you to get familiar with. At the bottom of every email you're going to get from us, just above the eMedica logo, you'll see a green box that says resource page. See here? Resource page. This has links to key resources, frequently asked questions, but importantly, it also has links to every live session that we do, apart from the one the day before the exam. They're all recorded, And once the recording is processed, which will take a few days for the evening sessions, up to a week for the full day sessions, because there's 7-8 hours worth of videos for the team to edit and process, they will automatically appear on the resources page. You do not need to email us to ask for it. You don't need to request access. It will automatically update. Okay, so when you click this, at the moment, all you'll see are the core resources. But what will happen is after we've had the first live session, which will happen about a week into the program, you'll see this will appear. When you click the image, you'll watch the video. When you click download topic review, you'll be able to download the teaching slides. After a few days after we've had the second live session, again, when you click this, this will appear. When you click the download topic review, you'll be able to download the teaching slides and so on. By the end, just before your exam, you'll see high yield 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll see the full day AKT course, AKT full mock grammar. You'll see the stats course, the admin course, high yield clinical grammar 1, high yield clinical grammar 2. All of these videos will be available for you to review and watch as many times as you want up until your exam. Okay, so just a reminder, the resources page is accessed by this green button at the bottom of every email. I'll show you when I show you the email as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example. Before I do, just a little note. Underneath that logo, there are 2 links which we have to include. Part of best practice in terms of data protection and data management is that if you trust us with your email, if we send you an email, we've added you to our list, we have to make it easy for you to leave, because we wouldn't want to send anyone an email that they don't want. So we make that easy in 2 ways. Okay, you can click this button to unsubscribe and leave the program, or you can click this one-click unsubscribe button. If you click either of these, you will not get any emails from us anymore. And we won't know that you don't want any emails from us anymore unless you contact us. And if you contact us, you click it by mistake, which sometimes happens, we can add you back once. If you keep doing it, your email provider might see this seems a bit dodgy. This person is unsubscribing from an email and then they're being added back. That sounds like someone's not respecting their wishes to leave a list. And what will happen is your email provider will put a block on us adding you back to our list. You just will not be able to receive emails from us. So please don't click unsubscribe unless you genuinely don't want to get any more emails from us. Okay. So that said, let me show you how the daily tasks work. Show you an example. So the day before you start, you're going to get a welcome email, which will have a link to watch this video, the video of this orientation session. That's not live at the moment because we haven't finished yet, but there'll also be this link for you to join the WhatsApp group. There's a reminder of the next live session. So High Yield Revision 1 is on the 7th of August. You should already have all of these dates in your diary. They're in your program timetable. And then there's the resources page. Here's the unsubscribe, which you're not going to click, but I'll just show you when you click the resources page, it'll ask you to log in. Okay. So once you log in, it will take you to the resources page. So at the moment, you can see there's no videos, okay? But you've got all of these things. So for example, if you haven't got your program timetable to hand, you could actually click this to see it online. You could download it, and then you could have all the dates and so on, okay? If, for example, you haven't got your curriculum guide to hand, you could click this to look at the online version. So look, here's your calendar. All the dates are there, okay? As to when we're going to do what, it's all there for you. Okay, that first one really is a chance for you to watch this back again if you want to go over anything and to join the WhatsApp group. After that, you'll get, on the first day of the actual program starting, you're going to get email number 1, which will look like this. Okay, so there'll be a link again to the orientation video. There'll be a link again to join the WhatsApp group. After those first 2 emails, we won't give you these links anymore. But in terms of doing the actual work, there's a question of the day. So you click that, put your email, whatever your registered email is. I'm going to put the eMedica email. If you've got any queries, this is the main email for contacting eMedica. Okay, so you have a look at the question, you select what you think is the right answer, you find out if you got it right or wrong, you read the explanation, and then there's a link for further reading, which is up to date. Okay, so you're going to read that. Then you're going to continue. You've got a section of online revision questions to do. There'll be 20 questions. Okay, I'm going to start again. So again, put your name in. Just put email actually. You put your name in. Please use the same email every time, because one of the things that we do in this program, which is unique, is that we track every single bit of work that you do where you put your name and email, and then we track your data. And we collect data throughout the program so that towards the last part of the program, based on your weaker areas, each of you will get a unique targeted revision plan. So you get more work on the topics you need additional support in. Okay, that's going to be different for all of you. We need the data to be able to gather that. Okay, so you're going to read the explanations as you go. Okay, and when you do the last question, the 20th one, it will automatically send us your results, and we'll be able to match the data to your name and email. So use the same one each time. Then you've got your case cards to read. So if you've got your physical ones, they're all numbered. So I'm going to read number 1 and 2. Let's say you haven't got them to hand. The digital ones you can access. You'll be able to just log in again. And then once you're logged in, it's just loading at the moment. But once you're logged in, if I go full screen, you'll be able to see. You're doing number 1 and number 2 that first day. Okay. So you read number 1, learn it. Read number 2, learn it. Okay. Once you've done that, you've got your reading. So you click the link and you do the reading. So we've got a topic summary on depression here. We've got a topic summary on antidepressant drugs, which is related. So once you've learned about depression, now you can learn about the different drugs and some of the important side effects. These are things that often get asked. Then you've got details of your weekly task. Now, when you do your weekly task, you have to submit that to us. Okay, so once you've done it, you've got the deadline till the 2nd of August. You click this, put your name, put your email, upload the file, okay, and then submit it to us. Okay, you've got to do that by the deadline. And then there's a reminder of the next live sessions. Again, a link to the resources page that I showed you earlier. Once we've done the live sessions, the videos will automatically appear here. Okay, now if I just show you one more, I want to show you what it looks like on a weekend one. So your first weekend one will be day 4 of the program, I believe. So let's show you that one. Okay, so day 4. Okay, you see on the weekend you have 2 questions of the day. You have 2 sets of online revision. So on the weekend we expect the amount of time you're going to put in to double compared to the weekdays. So you get more work. We've got to make use of the time that we've got between now and the exam, because we've got 90 days to make sure you cover 225 odd hours worth of work. Okay, so that's how you complete the daily task and how you submit the weekly tasks. Okay, so if you've got any questions, please put them in the Q&A and we'll pick up and answer those questions. Anna will start answering some of them directly. I'll come back and answer any that are left by the end. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the summary and some really important keys to success, so that those that haven't got questions, you can head off. And those that have got questions, or those that want to hear maybe other people have got questions, and you might think, actually, I was thinking something similar, or I hadn't thought of that question, but that's a good question, you can hang around. So really 3 important things to build on what Anna mentioned earlier. These are the keys to success in your exam. The first is mindset really matters. Michael Corder said that to succeed, we must first believe that we can. Now, some of you, it might be your first time sitting the exam and you're planning ahead and thinking, I want to have a structured way to prepare for it. And so that's why you've joined. Others, you might have already sat this exam. Some of you might have sat it multiple times, and you're joining a program like this because what you've tried so far hasn't worked. But maybe you've got experience of failing the exam multiple times or failing it once. And that can sometimes impact your learning. Okay, that if you start with, this exam is unbeatable, it's a horrible exam, I'm never going to pass, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because when you do questions that are challenging, you go down a negative spiral. Your brain actually shuts out the learning. So I want you to forget what you have experienced in the past about AKT and start with a positive or growth mindset from the beginning. That right now I want you to think, I'm going to do the work, and we've already designed the program that if you do the work, you will be prepared and you will pass. So I'm going to do the work, therefore I will be prepared, and therefore I'm going to smash this exam. And to have that thought right from the beginning and have that positive or growth mindset, that's important. Why? Because the questions that we've written in our courses, the questions in our question bank, they're designed as learning tools. So they're on the hardest end of the scale in terms of what you'll see in the real exam. So you're going to get a lot of them wrong, especially early on, as Anna mentioned. Your scores do not matter until you get to the exam. Okay, most of you will get scores that you wish were better for most of this program. But if you see every question that you get wrong as a learning opportunity, you know what? That's something that I'm glad I've covered, because now I can learn it. because you've got that positive mindset and you think, okay, I'm glad I'm going to do the work, I'm going to pass, it's going to make a difference. Okay. Be consistent. Make sure you do your daily tasks on time. Make sure you do your weekly tasks and submit them on time. Doing some learning every day is very different to thinking, I'll busy today, or I had on call today, so I'm going to skip it. And then what I'll do, I'll catch up 3 days worth on Saturday because, I'm free. Trying to do that much learning in one day rather than a couple of hours every day, how much you absorb and how much goes into your long-term memory is completely different. There's science behind this. That's why we've designed the program to make sure that you cover it in a structured way. And finally, just going back to what I said about mindset, that focus on the learning, not your score. We have challenging questions because we know if you do a question and you get it wrong, then you read up and understand why you got it wrong and what the right answer is. That will go into your long-term memory and you will remember it better than the ones that you get right first time. So getting a question wrong is an opportunity to learn if you have a growth mindset. If you have a fixed or negative mindset, every question you get wrong, you start thinking, oh, I'm never going to pass. It fulfills itself. You end up failing because your mindset is not set for you to grow and for you to learn. So don't worry about your scores. They're not important until you get to the exam. Worry about the learning. Am I doing my work? Be consistent. Okay. So that said, you're joining the program for October 2025. Let me share some emails from people that sat the exam October 2024, about a year ago, just to highlight that if you have the right attitude and you do the work, it works. So here's someone sat the exam in October and they passed. They really liked the structure. They found the webinars helped to consolidate knowledge. They found the WhatsApp group supportive. They would definitely recommend it, and since gone on and wanted to think about SCA with us. Okay. Someone else, this is someone who had not passed in the past, i.e. they had experience of failing, and they went from that to, finding the program really helpful, not just scraping a pass. Look at this, they've got 85% in stats, 85% in admin, and a pass overall. Okay. But, these things really, really make a difference. Okay. Just to round up so that you can head off in the time that we mentioned, is to remember that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, right? That, welcome to the program. Thank you for trusting our team to support you. And you've already taken a big first step. Now, you just need to commit and do the work, but we've broken it down. So you just need to focus on one step at a time. Without realizing it, 3 months from after we start, you're going to be at the end. You're going to be at the top of the mountain. You're going to look back and think, wow, we've done so much. But you will have consolidated the knowledge. You will have built your exam technique. You'll be ready for the exam. You will be well prepared. So between now and the first day, if you haven't finished watching the sort of 4 and a bit hours worth of pre-course learning, please make sure you complete all of those videos. Okay, because that's a prerequisite. You need to have done that before we start. Okay, so welcome to the program. Myself and the whole team are really looking forward to working with you towards your AKT success. It's a big step. Thank you for trusting us. I'm really looking forward to working with you and getting several months' time from now that big green tick and an email just to let you know I've smashed my AKT. Whether it's your first attempt or whether it's your final attempt, we're going to help you get through this exam. Okay, so thank you very much. I'm looking forward to starting with you soon.